Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture series for the subject Python application programming for semester 6 according to video. So in the previous class, we studied about the different list concepts so list is a sequence, lists are mutable, so how to traverse a list using the loops, different list operations like concatenation operator, repetition operator, and also we studied about the slicing concept here in lists and different list methods like append, extend, sort, and so these were the topics we studied in the previous video. So today in this video, we'll be studying about the remaining topics. So that is how to delete the elements from the list. So what are all the various ways to delete the elements from the list, and how to use functions for the list, lists and strings, how to convert list to a string, parsing lines, so like text file. So we are going to take a text file and we are going to count the number of words and the word frequency of the words appearing in that text file. So also we'll be learning about aliasing concepts and also arguments. So how to pass the parameters in a list and how to use them. Let's continue today's video from the concept deleting elements. So let us start with the concept that is deleting elements. So here we have a number of ways to delete the elements from a list. The first method is using pop. So if you know the index of the element, so like what is this index? Index is nothing but the offset value for the element of the list. So always the offset value starts with 0. The elements in the list have offset values. All the elements in the list have indices. So if you know the index, so you can use the method of deleting the element in the list by using pop. So here in this example, so you can see here, the pop method is used. So here we are going to delete the first index element. So that is by using pop of 1. So and then you can see here, the offset value of the list here starts from 0, 1 and 2. So we are going to delete the first element, that is B. So when we print the list T, so you can see here only A and C being printed. So that is because the first element is popped out. So when you print, so you can see here the popped out element is stored in the variable X. So when you print X, the popped out element will be displayed. So that is the one of the methods of deleting elements from a list. So pop modifies the list and returns the element that was removed. So if you don't provide an index, it deletes and returns the last element. So if you don't need the removed value, so you can use another way, that is the delete operator. So you can see here, if you don't want to see whatever you have deleted or removed, so then you can use another method of deleting the elements from the list using the del operator. So you can see here, again, we are going to delete the first element, that is B. So here delete T of 1. So this is the index value for B. So when you print T, you can see only 2 elements in the list. The second element being deleted. So that is another way of deleting the elements from the list. So and there is another way, the third way, so that if you know the element, not the index, see here. So this is a list T consisting of the elements A, B and C. So you know the elements here, so that is A, B and C, but you don't know the index. So then you can use another way of deleting, that is remove. So here, if you know the element you want to remove but not the index, you can use remove. So I know the element, so I want to delete the element B from the list. So then I can use remove of B. So then when you print the list, a new list consists of A and C only. So the B element is being removed. So this is another way of deleting the elements from the list. So the return value from remove is none. So if you, all these examples, whatever we have seen previously, we just deleted only one element. If you want to delete more than one element, then you can use slice index. So slice is used to delete more than one element. So you can see here the first index being specified and the second index being specified, and it removes the elements whatever the slice is being specified. And the next topic is lists and functions. So there are a number of built-in functions that we can use in lists. So let us see what are all the functions used on lists. So here we have an integer list consisting of 6 numbers. So you can see here 3, so 14, 74. So these are the 41, 12, 9, 74, 15. So these are the numbers, integer list under the name nums. So this is the list name nums. So here we have different functions that can be used on this list. So the first one is length function. So you, as you all know, length function returns the number of elements in the list. So you can see here we have 6 numbers in the list. So 6 is displayed here when we use the length function. And the next function here used on lists is max. So max returns the highest valued character from the list. So here according to this list 74 has the highest value. So 74 will be displayed. So but you should remember that max and min can be used so for strings also, so like characters ABCD, so the highest valued character, so according to the alphabets also will be used. So max can be used for strings also. So similarly, we have another function that is min. So here min returns the least valued item in the list. So here according to this list, so 3 is the least valued number. So 3 will be returned as the answer. And one more function you can see here is sum. So sum, what does this sum do is it counts, sums up all the numbers in the list and returns the sum of all the integers. So you should remember that sum can be used only for integers and not for strings. So it returns 154, it counts 3 plus 41 plus 12 plus 9 plus 74 plus 15, and 154 is the answer that will be returned. So and the last thing here is it returns the average. So you can see here sum by length. So that is nothing but the sum 154 divided by 6. So we get 25. So that is the average. So these are the different types of functions defined in lists. So some function only works when the list elements are numbers. So other functions like max, length also work with strings. So next is list and strings. So to convert from string to a list, you can use the keyword list. So string is a sequence of characters and a list is a sequence of values. But list of characters is not the same as string. So you can see here we have an example. So we have this string spam in yes. So what we are going to do is we are going to convert this string spam to list. So you're going to use the keyword list and passing this string as the parameter. So you can see here list of s. So this particular list is stored in the list called as t. So when we print the list, you can see the string being converted to list. So that is s, p, a and m. So that is the conversion of string to list of characters by using the list. So also you cannot use list as a variable name because it is a built-in function. The list function breaks strings into individual letters. If you want to break a string into words, then you can use split method. So that this is used for like sentences. So if you want to divide this sentence into words, so then you can use split function. So you can see here. So we have this sentence pining for the George. So that is stored in S. So then you're going to split this sentence into words. So you can see by using this split function s dot split, and you're going to store that in t. So when we print t, so you can see this particular sentence being divided into words. So pining is one item, for is another item, the and George is another item. So when you print the index value, so you can see here t of 2. So this is 0, 1 and 2. The second element will be printed. So you can see here the being printed. So you can call split with an optional argument called a delimiter. So we will see how this delimiter is used in this example. So here you can see we have another string that is spam repeated thrice with a delimiter hyphen. So you can see here in this. So this is stored in S. So when we use the delimiter, that is the hyphen character, so we are going to split this particular sentence and ripping off the delimiter. So you can see here when we use split function, so what it does is it converts this sentence to words. So you can see here spam being converted into a list using the delimiter. And join is the reverse of the split. So what does join do? So join combines the words into a sentence, into a string, whereas split divides the sentence into list of items. So here join takes a list of strings and concatenates the elements of the list. So here in this example, we have a list called as T, which has these words pining, for, the, and George. So these are the list of strings. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the delimiter, that is space, and using the join method, we are going to join all these words. So you can see here when we execute this statement, so you can see the list of strings being converted to the string of characters. So next is parsing lines, which is very, very important. So you can see here, what is this parsing lines is if you want to count the number of words appearing in a paragraph, so then you can parse the lines using the list. So here we have the mbox short. So previously also we have used this text file. So it contains the Romeo Juliet poem. So you are using the file handler to open the file, text file, that is mbox short. So mbox short consists of the email information. So here we are going to read each and every line in this mbox short, and here the for loop is used to traverse through each and every line in the mbox short.text. So, and then R strip is used. So R strip strips of the white space at the right side of the right end of the sentence. So if the line does not start with from, so then you're going to continue. So we are interested only in lines that start with from. So words equal to line dot split. So print words of 2. So here it prints only the third word. So that is why we have specified the index value here. So line is split into words. So that is being put into this words, and the third word is printed. So that is what this program does. So let us see the output. So let us execute this particular program. Yeah, so we have the program here. So let us execute that program. So you can see here, according to mbox short, the third word is nothing but the week day. It specifies the name of the weekday. So here you can see the answer, Friday, Thursday. So when you just scroll down, so you can see here, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, the third word according to the email information, and it is only the lines that starts with from. So it only takes those lines, retrieves those lines that starts with from, and prints only the third word. So according to that lines which starts with from, the third word is the weekday. So this particular example now executes, so and it prints the third word. So that is this parsing lines. So here you can retrieve the lines on which you are interested in from any of the text file and return, so whatever the lines you want to print. So next we have the objects and values. So we know that, so according to this example, so here you can see A has the string banana and B also has the string banana. We know that A and B both refer to a string, but we don't know whether they refer to the same string. So here, according to this, there are two possible states. So something like this. Here you can see A and B can be pointing to the same object, and A has the separate variable and B has the separate variable. So that is variables and objects. So when we use the is operator, so you can see here for the strings, so A has the string banana and B has the string banana. When is operator is used, so it returns true. So here when we use the same concept for lists, so this list, what happens when you create a list, so list refers to an object. So that is a memory object. It has its own object ID in the memory. So here, according to this example, so A has a list 1, 2, 3, and B has a list consisting of the elements 1, 2, 3. But still, both are different because A points to a different object ID and B points to a different object ID. So when we compare both these lists, so you can see returns false because both the object IDs are not same. So that is why it is false. And the next topic is aliasing. So aliasing is nothing but a different name given. So which has more than one reference, more than one name. So it refers to an object and you assign B is equal to A, then both variables refer to the same object. So the association of variable with an object is called a reference. An object with a more than one reference has more than one name. So we say that the object is aliased. If the aliased object is mutable, changes made with one alias affects the other. So here you can see A is a list consisting of the elements 1, 2, and 3. So B, we assign the elements of the A to B. So when we compare both, so B is A, true, because you are assigning both A and B to the same list. So that is why it is true, you are not creating another list. So that is why the object IDs match here. And when you assign an element, so to the 0th element, that is the offset value 0, so then you can see 1 being changed to 17, 2, and 3 because lists are mutable. So the effect, the alias effect will be shown in the object also, the aliased object also. And the next topic is list arguments. So when you pass a list to a function, the function gets a reference to the list. So if the function modifies a list parameter, the caller sees the change. So here, you know what list arguments are and parameters are. So here, when you pass a list to a function, function gets a reference to a list. So the main function, wherever you have passed the parameters, so if you use that particular function in any other this one with a different arguments, so arguments are nothing but the actual values what you are going to pass to the function. So that particular modification is done here. So we can see here. So when that being is used, so we are going to define a function called as delete head. So here you can see this is the function name, that is delete head. So the parameter passed here is t. Okay, so what does this function do is, so it deletes the first element. So here you can see the 0th offset value is being specified here. So that means t of 0. So wherever you use this function, the thing this function does is it deletes the first element, because the offset value is 0 here. So here you can see here, this is a list which is passed as a argument to the function delete head. So here you can see this the list ABC, it consists of ABC elements. So when you're going to use pass this list as a parameter to the function, so you can see that is the function delete head. So and when you print this letter, so you can see the first element being deleted. So why? Because in the main parent function, so it deletes the first element. So that is why only 2 elements are being returned when you execute this program. So that is this list arguments. And parameters, arguments are nothing but the actual values passed to the function defined. So these are the different concepts we studied about lists in Python programming. So different concepts, deleting the elements, sorting, different functions, different types of operations like concatenation operator, then repetition operator, append, extend, sort, del operator, pop, remove function, then slicing, and then traversing through the list, parsing the list. So all these concepts we have studied in lists. So hope you have all understood the concepts of lists. Thank you.